I'm Ryan Benson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
I'm Dylan Bud.
We're the Pop Culturists, and we're just going to kick things off straight away this week. Insider sources at Eurogamer say that Nintendo is working on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Mini. That is the reason why it's been recently discontinued. That is why I want to know your thoughts.
Why the Nintendo Entertainment System has been discontinued.
No, not the original one from the 1980s, because that's just because of, age, mostly.
Wait, they're not making it anymore?
No, they stopped. Probably in about 1980.
Fuck this shit. I joke.
But yeah, so it looks as if, to what speculation could have been, is that they are in fact working on a Super Nintendo Mini.
Awesome.
SNES Mini.
Did we ever actually doubt they were going to do that?
No, I guess with the success of
really?
the original
Mini.
No,
everyone's like, oh my god, they're actually doing it. Of course they're fucking doing it.
See, for me, I was like, there's no way. Like, this is a once-off thing. This is just a novelty thing because they had nothing coming out this year. Like, shit, we don't have anything for this Christmas. Nintendo Mini! Woo! Get excited.
We made like 4. Woo!
They're like, hey, we're going to make about 80 of them. And we're going to sell them all. And then if anyone asks, we sold every Nintendo Mini we made.
That's the thing, though, is, they're doing this, which is cool. But if I could actually get one, that'd be fantastic.
That would be lovely.
I'd buy one. I will buy one off eBay one day.
See, I'm
No,
like
because they're charging.
$400.
Yeah, exactly. You could buy nearly buy a Switch for that.
I did send someone to get it on a Friday morning, and it was sold out by pre-orders.
It's
online.
Exactly. It's not your bad for not getting one. Like, the whole supply thing was just dumb.
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
So this is something like I have made a personal stance that I will never buy a Nintendo Mini now. Just because of this dumb business practice. No, because of the dumb business practices.
So you're saying
Nintendo.
If you were in Target on the weekend and you saw one on the shelf, brand new, $99, you would not buy it.
Probably not.
You are full of shit. You are the worst impulse buyer I have known in my entire life. That is a lie.
What if it's half price?
Yeah, because Target don't know what they're doing. It's like, what's this old thing?
Yeah, they find old things out the back.
They check it up.
So
it's
is this like
discontinued
stock? Is this like one of the
old...
like the shitty fucking Sega Saturn things they made? Is like
is that a Famicom?
$30?
Yeah.
Is this from 1984? What is this? Get it out of here.
I'm not going to actively attempt to get one.
Oh, so you've changed now.
Oh, no.
If you accidentally find one, you'll get it.
I don't know if you said definitely was your quote. We can go back and check it.
It's like,
there is no way I think it was what you said.
Unless, it's so simply because I strongly disagree with them being like, we've made 6 of these. Good luck. I'm like, no. I would have bought 3 of these fucking things if they came, at Christmas time. I would have bought one for me. I would have bought one for, Millie's family. And I would have bought, an extra one just for the fun of it.
If they released the sales figures in units, and then it's like, we sold 3 million. They're like, oh. So you actually made a lot, and I just couldn't get one.
I'd be like, well, where are these 3 million?
Yeah, I don't know how many they did.
Under people's TV.
Did they have the next wave, or was it just the first wave?
No, just
they had about 2 or 3 other waves. EB Games has decided not to publicly announce when they ever get them now.
Yeah.
Because they just the last time they tried, their website just crashed.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the old Nintendo Entertainment System.
We're talking about the old.
We're talking about the slightly newer Super Nintendo. So what I want to talk about.
Hold on.
Is
just out of curiosity, do you guys say SNES or do you say SNES?
I say SNES or SCHMES.
I say SNES.
I add a couple extra.
Sounds like that place where you get chicken burgers in.
Yeah, SNES. Yeah, that's like I'm a bit of SNES.
SNES.
That sounds fun to say dumb words.
It sounds like smegma. Like it has that same ring to
it.
Smegma.
I think it is SNES, but I say SNES. I also say Nike instead of Nikes.
I say Nike.
But it is Nike because they say it in commercials, so.
So whatever. It depends if there's a plural on it or not.
Nikes.
Anyway, back on topic again.
Yeah. So with the SNES, what do you want to see? What do you want to see on a SNES?
Donkey Kong Country.
Good pick.
All of them.
Solid good pick.
It won't be though, because they're not gonna. They don't put. Well, from what we've seen with the NES, they don't put a whole series.
They'll pick the key highlights. So I reckon we'll probably get Donkey Kong Country 2 maybe.
No, it needs to be number 1.
Number 1 is a must.
2 or 3 were good, but number 1 is a must.
That was heaps. I've got Super Nintendo games coming out in years.
So I've got heaps. And
Super Mario World.
Yes, Super Mario World is a must. That's
F-Zero.
Goddamn. Oh, F-Zero.
Donkey Kong Country, like you said. Mega Man X. Killer Instinct. But again, these like rare games, I don't know if they've got some copyright thing going on.
Yeah, well, Xbox had rare stuff, didn't
Because
they?
they've got that
No.
rare pack.
They had
that you can
Xbox
get.
had the rare.
Oh,
collection.
sorry. I think you said with the Nintendo, the NES had it. Xbox now own Rare. So my understanding is outside of the Rare replay, we're not going to see many things.
At least one of the NBA jams. Tournament
Ooh,
edition
good one,
or
yeah.
normal NBA jam. You probably won't see the Mortal Kombats or the Street Fighters,
Mm.
but they did have I think there might have been a Mega Man or two on the
Yeah, I think they Mega Man
the
1 and
NES.
2. Yeah.
So that's a Capcom thing.
The majority of them are first parties, but there is some deals with some third party.
The biggest one for me outside of Donkey Kong Country would be A Link to the Past.
That's going to be a
Original.
must. That's got to be a must.
It's not the original Zelda game, but it is the one that kind of revolutionized open world games back then. You know, it means a lot. And there's a lot. You can get so many hours out of that game.
Mm.
It's awesome. You know, that game revolutionized the industry. Like Zelda games normally do. You know, Ocarina of Time did it for 3D open world, and A Link to the Past did it.
Breath of the Wild's
Breath of the Wild's done it again. A Link to the Past did it way back then. That's a must, especially running off the hype that Breath of the Wild has now. It'd be smart to get a Zelda game on there.
Now I can't remember where the Final Fantasies appeared on the
Yeah,
NES
The
Mini.
first one was on the NES.
On the NES
First
Mini
one-
though, I don't know whether they're actually on the.
Oh
on
no,
the
they're
card.
not.
See, like this is what
I'd imagine that'd be a copyright thing.
Yeah, or some sort of deal. They couldn't get a deal with Square Enix, which makes sense. For me, I would want to see a game that I know you have a soft spot for as well. Is Mystic Quest Legend?
I do, but I have it at home.
Yeah.
Remember you played it a few
I
weeks
did.
ago?
And I was like, oh my god!
when that music kicked in.
Oh god, that was good. Like I don't like I said we've always talked about this. I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy games, but at the time I did not know this was a Final Fantasy.
No, it's not labeled. No, but it is a Final Fantasy.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
It's made by Square.
It was the sweet, sweet fantasy, as Mariah Carey said. My
It's the
question
second
is,
last fantasy, not
Yeah.
the Final Fantasy.
My question is, because in
Sort of
Australia and Europe it was the Super Nintendo,
Mm.
it was the Super Famicom
Yeah.
in America or Japan?
In Japan, so like
Yeah.
in the same way with the NES, with the mini NES Mini, it's the NES Mini around the world, but it's the it's the Famicom Mini in Japan.
Yeah, but the Famicom looked different to the NES. The NES was the American, European, and Australian one.
There was the big
The
square
Super
one with the
Nintendo
purple.
though was grey and purple. That's the definitive one, and the cartridges were different as well.
I had the
in
more
America-
I had the more round one
So
with the top.
will they
thing.
do an American version and a European Australian version? Because that's the one that I would collect, and that's the one I'm familiar with. But Americans, who's probably like the main market, I don't know if they stand for that. And then
They'll
there's
stand
two.
for it.
There's two. There'll be riots. But there's two different. I think they're going to do two different versions that are going to sell out even farther. Like instead of like 1 million, they're going to do like half of half.
I think what they need to learn from the feedback of the NES Mini is either make the controllers wireless or give them a cord longer than a foot.
Or sell like $60 extension cables. Do you remember the extension cables at all?
Yeah, I've got one.
I have one in a box here for the PS2 back there.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, for my Super Nintendo at home, I've got the cartridge you put in that you put your Game Boy game in. And you
Oh,
play
yeah.
your Game Boy game
Ooh.
on the Super
Yeah,
Nintendo.
the Super Game Boy.
That makes
Like-
me hot.
Playing, Pokemon Red on my
Mm.
60-inch.
Like, wow, this looks like trash.
This looks really bad.
I want to get some licensed games in there. These are things that are unlikely, but I wouldn't mind getting like Toy Story, Lion King, Aladdin, maybe. Doom.
Jurassic Park was a good one.
Jurassic Park.
That was great.
There was a
That
different
Jurassic
version on
Park
Super Nintendo that wasn't the cool one. The Mega Drive or Genesis had the good one.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Super Star Wars, maybe. That's not very unlikely, but
There's tons of games they can put on this thing, but do you feel like they should be focusing on this or getting those same games onto the Switch?
or the Virtual Console.
Let's switch topic a little bit.
Didn't click very well the first time.
Concentrating on what you were doing just made me lose my train of thought.
So
Let's
this
change topics a little bit.
Yes.
They're doing all this retro game stuff with the NES and now the SNES Mini, supposedly. Oh, hello.
Oh, allegedly.
Hey.
Oh, alleged Josh was very sexy.
But people are still waiting for the Virtual Console on the Switch.
Mm.
So, would you imagine that them doing the SNES Mini takes resources away from that happening?
Yes and no. I think because my understanding is I think someone did break down the code, like the source code of the Nintendo Mini, and it's literally someone's almost pretty much
It's ROMs.
pulled ROMs off the internet and
Yeah,
put it on a
even
on a
though
chip.
Yeah. There's a whole.
So,
there's
like-
videos about that, which are quite funny actually.
So in terms of the actual
Sorry,
construction
the story to that. I'm not sure if you know.
I do remember.
Yeah.
But tell me.
Yeah.
this one.
Nintendo have this big thing about ROMs are bad, like they're the most outspoken. ROMs are bad, they ruin the industry, yada yada yada. And then on the NES Mini, someone pulled the Mario game off there and looked at the code, and in the code is like the web address for the guy that made the ROM off this torrent website. So all sources point to that exact game being
They didn't even
a downloaded ROM.
remake the games.
No,
to
they
run
didn't
on
even check the
SNES Mini
code
themselves.
because there's like tags in the code that it's a ROM from
Yeah.
online and not the actual thing. That's kind of hypocritical. You fucks.
Just a little bit.
But as you were saying, so you're saying is it taking resources away?
Yeah.
But do you think they'll put out the SNES before they release any of these kind of games on the virtual console?
See,
or is it
that's the tough
poor
balance.
man's version
Yes.
of the virtual console?
I think they will because if they release the virtual console on the Switch and it has all these SNES games and all that on there, all the people that own a Switch, you've just taken off the market to buy a SNES Mini because other than collectors. But if you want to play those games, you can just play them on your Switch. So if they do the SNES Mini first and delay the virtual console, I think they'll sell more.
But if they make that the Christmas item that they did with the Nintendo Mini, that would be they'd be 9 months on the market without a virtual console.
I don't think they'll make it. I think they've realised with the success of the NES Mini that they don't need. It doesn't matter when they put it out. at all.
Yes, I agree. But the whole intention behind it was the cheap stocking stuffer.
Yeah, it was. But it doesn't matter when they put the SNES Mini out. It's gonna sell out anyway. And now they have the Switch, so they're not trying to fill the Christmas gap with just fucking anything. They'll have games.
I think it'd be interesting
later.
when come E3, which is only 12 weeks away, not even.
Heaps less than that. It's
No.
like 7.
I'm
or
sorry,
8
I
weeks
just have to
away.
catch some sweat. It's
Yeah,
from my brow right
these,
now.
Whatever globes you've put in here are fucked, dude. It is so hot.
You're wearing a beanie though.
I was sweating before I walked in here.
I
and
am-
you have a beard.
My beard is wet.
So that's the thing.
So
I,
like
I,
my tender.
my
I was sweating. I was sweating before we even here. I was just breathing. I was like,
It sucks being overweight.
yeah. I'm like, should have had 2 burgers. Yeah. So for me, I think it's an interesting where
It's
gonna,
tough.
It's tough. Where it's going to be sitting will be fascinating. Simply because the same way the Nintendo Mini worked, it had an advantage if there were people that hadn't touched games in literal years, and they're like, "Oh man, I remember Nintendo. I remember playing Nintendo." I remember when they first got announced, there were people on my Facebook that were like, would never identify as gamers. Were like, "Man, I grew up with this shit. I'm gonna buy the hell out of one of these."
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
And they're the jokes
And then
that
you-
got it.
Yeah, they're the jokes that got it and played it and went, "Oh, this is terrible,"
And I'll never play it again.
and never touch it again. And
Well,
sell it on
like,
eBay
there's-
for $400 to Dylan.
Where Super Nintendo, I think, has that bigger base, because now we're starting to get into our generation. Like Dylan, you grew up with the NES, right? So we're us, more than likely our first console would have been a SNES.
It wasn't.
SNES.
As you know, I still have it.
Oh, yes. No, I'm saying, but like, at
I
the
get
time,
what you're
yeah.
saying. So all I can hope with it is that, look at the NES Mini as their testing ground. Let's do this and let's just see how it goes. Holy fuck. Oh my god. And then with the SNES Mini, they go, we need to up production tenfold.
But at the same
And we'll
time,
still sell all of
it's
them.
the easiest way for them to sell a bunch of virtual console games. Like, if you were to buy those games individually, it would have worked out to be like $150 or something. And then you pay $100 and you get 30.
Yeah, but what's the chance that if you these games do come out on the virtual console and you're paying more to have them on the virtual console than you are to on this NES device?
Yeah, you would,
Is that
yeah.
like a rip-off?
No, because
Well, I paid $7 to have Donkey Kong Country on my 3DS.
Yeah, but you're trading it in for being able to play it portably, I'd say. You're paying a bit more for the game,
But like
you can take it with
$7
you.
to $8 for a game.
Oh,
That's
it's
bit
a
rough.
huge rip.
And then what
but
did the
people
Nintendo
pay it.
have? 50 games? 40 games?
30 games.
30.
Ooh.
Okay, so what's that? Do the math.
$180 roughly, if it's $8 a game,
Well done.
roughly.
But yeah.
Basic grade 4 mathematics still.
Mate, I work at a place that I can't discuss. So I don't need skills like that.
No, but that's the thing is that I'd look at the SNES Mini as the collector's thing, but I would still buy the select games I want on the Switch Virtual Console if they were on it anyway. Even if they were on the SNES Mini, I'd still buy them.
But wouldn't it be fun to play games that you never played before, or you're like, oh, I tried that one?
Yeah, because
totally.
if I saw it, I'm like, I'm not going to pay $7 for that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But like the whole idea of this, it would give me games I've never touched, or games that Like on the NES, like some of the original Castlevania games, which I've never played. I'm like, oh man, I'd probably jump into them. Wouldn't pay for them, but as in like I wouldn't buy them individually. But they're like, hey, here's a box that has things in it.
You could just play it right now.
I could. I'm pretty sure I have the ROMs right now.
You play the exact same version on computer.
Yeah, but PC
Get
gaming,
one of those little Raspberry Pi things.
but PC gaming sucks.
It does.
Why are you directing that at me?
Because you said play it on the computer.
Oh.
Like a console trader.
The Steams are good, I hear.
I'm Ryan Betson.
I'm Josh Saunders.
Jill Button.
So what do you guys think? Would you invest the money in a SNES Mini? Like, what do you want to see on there? Other questions?
Super
and things?
Mario Kart is the obvious one.
Oh man, why didn't we put that on the list?
It'll be there.
Have to be. That was really like I remember like you'd sit in the middle and the character kind of just did that.
The background moved.
Yeah, you did move the background.
Yeah.
The kind of the map just moved.
That's
around.
it. The characters had 3 models, back and 45
back,
degree angles
left,
each
right,
way.
yeah.
45
Slightly left,
degrees
slightly
each
right.
way when you're going left and right.
Yeah.
Even when you slid, it was the same 45 degree angle, but you had 8-bit
Bit of
smoke,
smoke.
8-bit smoke coming
Yeah.
out from behind you.
I'd much rather just a really good virtual console. I don't know the
Me too. They'll get more money for it.